Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, as you can see from the title, it is very exciting. We are trying out a new product. I received this last week and I've been desperate to try them out, so we are finally doing that today. It is the new NARS blushes. So I have got 6 of them here and there is a range of sort of colours and also a range in terms of some of them are more matte finishes and some more shimmery, so it gives it a bit of a fair trial. So I'm so excited to try these out. We're going to go in depth with the review. I'm going to have a look at things like the packaging. I'm going to look at obviously the formula itself, how they perform, and give my overall thoughts on what my view is on the blushes. So I can't wait any longer. I've been waiting way too long already. So let's just jump straight in with the video. So to start off with, let's have a look at how these are. I'll show you what I've got here. These are the new formula blushes. I have tried the old formula before and I really did like them. I found they're very pigmented and they have good colour payoff and did last long as well. Anyway, so these are the 6 I've got here. Starting off by looking at the packaging. I don't think there's a lot of difference. I mean, it comes in the box here like this. They've always had obviously their logo there and all the ingredients on the back as well. So this is pretty much the same as the old NARS blushes. I will say from looking at the box, and they do advertise this quite well on their site as well, something that does stand out to me is their main ingredient. So the main ingredient in the blushes always used to be talc. However, now the new ingredient is mica. So I know that this can be a hit and miss for people. I do believe that the main reason that a lot of brands are now changing from talc is that there's a lot of controversy about it. I've seen a lot of things being said about talc leading to cancers and complications with your health. I don't know why NARS specifically changed from talc to mica. However, I do find mica as an ingredient a lot softer when applying to the skin than talc would be. This is due to talc being more of an oil absorbing product. So talc really absorbs oil. It's a powder, so it takes away any shine. Due to this, I do sometimes find that talc can be a little bit more chalky and possibly show up texture a little bit more. So this makes me really excited that they're using mica instead. I find mica a lot more smooth to apply to the skin. It might not stay as matte as a talc ingredient product would. However, for the health benefits and for how smoothly it applies, I really don't think that's an issue. And due to the longevity of the blushes that I've tried in the past from NARS, I do believe that there's not going to be a huge difference from talc to mica in terms of how long the blush is going to last. So that is from the box. This is the shade Dominant here. So I'm just going to open this up. So it comes really well packaged, if you can see there. It does have, obviously, the box it comes in. It's also in an extra bit of packaging around here to protect the product, which I really like. I think obviously it might cost more for the brand and slightly more for the consumer. But saying that, having no risk of the product being broken is worth it in my eyes. So I really like it when brands do this. Okay, so another main change that I have noticed is that they have changed the packaging. It used to have a little lip at the front and then there was a little bit around the outside as well. So it's almost more like a sort of a lid. It wasn't squared off. Whereas now, if you can see there, the whole thing is just squared off. This is how it looks here. So it's all squared. There's no lip going around the outside. And I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think there's a huge difference. It still has the same texture as they normally do. From a makeup artist's point of view, this is going to be a lot more handy, as the other older packaging was slightly rounded at the edge as well. I always find a squared off packaging a lot easier to pack. You can sort of just like tuck it in like that. Another thing that I've noticed here that I know makeup artists are absolutely going to love, and even consumers as well, is the fact that these are now refillable. So if you can see there, there is a very small little hole just on the back. So what this is for is when you've used up the product, or if you want to depot it, you can literally just poke it out and you've got the product as it is. So I'll show you an example here. I'm just using some very small little tweezers. But if I just get the tweezers and I'm popping them in that hole, giving a gentle push, I don't know if you heard that little click. And then when you open the products, it feels like these are actually magnetic as well. The blusher just pops out and then you can have a pan of it. So as a makeup artist, that's an amazing thing. It's such a nightmare to depot products, so I love this. And also, after a little bit of research from what I've found, is that the blushes on their own, currently with the packaging, if you're going to buy it brand new, retail for £34. They're all out of stock, so I don't know whether this price is going to stay the same or change. But if you are just looking to buy the refills that look like this, they are looking like they are actually going to be £24. So that's a massive £10 saving from buying the blusher here as a whole to just the actual product itself. So I'm going to pop this back in. It's magnetic, so it just slots back in, and then it won't fall out. Such a strong magnet in there. So far, in terms of the packaging of the product, I actually prefer it to the old packaging. I think the fact it's refillable, the fact you can just pop the blushes out, and the squared off corners is a lot more appealing to me. So I really, really enjoy the new style of packaging and 100% prefer it over the old style. But now let's have a look at how the actual product performs, as it is a new formula. So this is the bit where it's going to be most important. So I will talk to you through all of the shades that I have got here today. This one that I've just popped out to show you is in the shade Dominant. If you can see that there, it is quite a bright peachy pink blush. Really, really nice on all skin tones, so I love this one. So this one is the shade Teased, a little bit more of a deeper, almost cool tone plummy sort of shade. I then have shade Forbidden, and I love the look of the shade. It is like a corally, peachy sort of tone, a lot warmer, but really, really pretty, really nice with bronzer, so I love the shade of this one. I then have shade Obsession, and this one is an absolute pure orange. I love this. This is going to be beautiful on deeper skin tones. Last couple I have here are from the original Orgasm range. So I have got Orgasm Edge and Orgasm Rush. From what I was reading online, Orgasm Edge is meant to be a matte version of the original Orgasm. So I have had a look, and I would say it's so close to the shade Forbidden. If I show you here, this one is Orgasm Edge. So I would say, rather than being pinky, it is more of a corally, almost slightly more orange and pink shade. So that's Orgasm Edge, which is meant to be the matte version of Orgasm. Then I've popped that one just next to the Forbidden shade. So this one here is Orgasm Edge, and then this one here is Forbidden. There is a very slight difference between them, but I would say there's nothing majorly different between them. So that's what they look like. I'll show you the Orgasm Edge next to actual Orgasm. Just bear with the fact that my Orgasm is only a mini, but you can see what I mean there by the colours. So the Orgasm original is obviously the smaller one, and you can see obviously it's shiny, but it's a lot more pink. I would say it's very pink, whereas Orgasm Edge, to be honest with you, it's a completely different colour. Like, I would not say that this is a matte version of this. So I can't really understand that. I can't get over how close these two are. I think it's just baffling me. Like, there's a slight difference. There is a slight difference. I'd say Orgasm Edge is a little bit lighter, they're so similar. Either way, we will have a look, we will swatch and test them out. But then last shade I have here is Orgasm Rush. And this may be one of my favourite shades, but it has got, you can see it's got a little bit of shimmer to it. It's much deeper, but it just looks like it's going to be absolutely beautiful. So I love the look of this Orgasm Rush. So that's all of the shades that I have there. Let's do a swatch. Let's see how they look colour-wise, pigment-wise. Let me swatch it out for you, and then we will see how they perform. So I'm going in with Dominant, which is the bright pink shade. I'm just going to literally rub in with my finger, and then I'm going to swatch on the back of my hand. So that's just one swatch. You can see that's actually got a nice bit of colour payoff. It is more of a matte shade, but I can see this going really nicely with a highlighter on top. It's a really classic pink, so that looks really good. Moving on to Teased, and I'm going to pop this right next to that first shade we did. And again, very bright, lot of colour payoff. It does look a lot more wearable on my skin than I thought it would. It looks so intense in the pan, but it's a really pretty cooler pink shade, so that one looks amazing. I'm then going to go in with Obsession, which is this more orangey shade here. Popping that next to that shade there, and again, really nice colour payoff, really pretty coral. They're a lot more wearable looking on my skin than I thought they'd be. I thought they looked really bright. Now I really want to test the Orgasm Edge and Forbidden next to each other. So I'm going to start off with Forbidden. I'm going to put Forbidden next to the orange one here. So that looks really nice. It's a slightly lighter shade of that first one, the one we did next to it. You can see that there. And it does look like it's got a little bit of shine. I don't know if that's just me, but it does look a little bit shinier than the others. So that one's Forbidden. Let's try Orgasm Edge and see the difference. They just look so similar. Let's see. Let's try it. Right, here goes Orgasm Edge. Okay. So it looks so much more pink on my skin. They look so similar in the pan, but on my skin, that does actually look more of a pinky shade than the Forbidden does. So I'll let it off, but I do want to put the original Orgasm next to it so we can compare. So this is my original Orgasm. Obviously this is a shimmer compared to the Orgasm Edge, which is a matte. So there is such a big difference there. You can see the original Orgasm is a lot more lightweight, but is a bit more pinky. I would still say the Orgasm Edge is slightly between this Orgasm and the orangey shade. It is a little bit more orangey than the original Orgasm is. It does look more similar there than I thought it would in the pan. So it is more pinky in life than it is in the pan. So that is those there. And now let's do Orgasm Rush, which I'm so excited for. Here's Orgasm Rush. Looks beautiful, and this is a shimmer. I'm going to put that at the very bottom there. Oh, see, that is beautiful. It is like a metallic bronzy red gold sort of shade. That is going to look beautiful on deeper skin tones. It's almost going to act like a highlight. It's so beautiful on the skin. And that is all the swatches there. So they are there is a bit of variety through them. I'd say obviously these three in the middle here are very similar, but there is a little bit of variety there. I will say that when I did swatch them, when I was rubbing my finger in the pan, I did find that they felt very smooth to rub. There wasn't a lot of fallout. In fact, there was no fallout at all. They weren't chalky feeling. They were really buttery. So that is nice. It shows you're not going to have a load of fallout on the skin, and I'm hoping from that feeling they are actually going to be very blendable. So I've had a look on NARS' site, and they give a few sort of details on how the blushes will perform. First and foremost, they say they have a high impact effect. It says they are blendable. They also say it's going to be soft focus and blurring, which is so flattering. So I really hope they perform that way. And then they do finally say as well that it is a true colour payoff. I would say with the Orgasm Edge, it was a little bit more pinky on the skin than it looked in the pan. I don't know, but the rest of them they did have true colour payoff. So I don't know, it's something to sort of, we'll test it out. So we are going to test these blushes now. So I'm going to grip my hair back so we've got full cheek ready for blush. I'm going to try one on one cheek and one on the other and see how it performs. To make it completely fair, I've got two of the exact same brush, exact same style. So I've got the Zoeva 132 and both of these are freshly cleaned. So there's absolutely no product on them whatsoever. They're the exact same brush. So it's going to be a fair test to see how a shimmer performs and then how a matte shade performs. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to test two of them today and see how they look. I am going to test all of them eventually, so I think I'm going to make some shorts and test them there, so check those out. But today I think I'm going to test both of the Orgasm shades. Obviously I'm obsessed with the look of the Orgasm Rush, so I want to try that. And I'm so intrigued by the Orgasm Edge with the shade that it's actually going to be on the skin. So I am going to test that one as well. So let's go in first with Orgasm Rush. I've got my product here. What I'm going to do is go 1, 2, 3. And you can see there is a little bit of product on the end of that brush. So now I'm just going to apply this to my face. I have got foundation and bronzer on, but I've put no blusher on. So let's see how this performs. Okay, so you can see straight away I dipped in 3 times and there's already colour coming out. It is a really pretty reddish tone. And you can see there is a little bit of shimmer in there. So I'm just going to blend this because I've sort of pat it in one area. I'm going to see how it blends. So far it's given a really nice natural sort of tone. It does make a difference. You can sort of see that on the skin. It has made a difference. It's brought a bit of colour back in. I am going to add a little bit more because I do like a bit of a more intense blush. So I think I'm going to go 1, 2. we're going to do 2 this time. And then again, lightly blending over the skin, up to the hairline, and then over the apples of the cheeks. Oh, God, I'm obsessed. It's better than I thought it'd be. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it's so much better than I thought it'd be. It blends like an absolute dream. I'm absolutely obsessed. I'm not gonna lie to you, I am absolutely obsessed. It's given that perfect sort of tone. It's so natural looking. My skin is quite fair, so I have to be careful with what shades of blushes I use. But it's so natural looking. It's just given that little bit of colour to the skin. Can you see that? Can you see the difference there? Look, nothing. Goddess. So you can see there, it gives that really nice, it's like the natural undertones of your skin when you get a natural warmth in your skin. And in total I dipped in 5 times, so I didn't really dip in at all, and there's absolutely no fallout at all, and it blended like a dream. I had it quite concentrated in one area, and then I blended in like a circular motion, and you can see it has just blended out. I'm going to add a little bit more. I'm obsessed. I don't want to ruin it though. I do like my blusher quite strong. It's better than I thought it'd be, honestly, and I love the look of this. It's so much better than I thought it'd be. And it's got that sort of shimmer to it, but it's not glittery. I do like the original Orgasm, but I find it can be very glittery and not a lot of colour payoff. This has got the colour payoff with your natural shine, so it looks very much like your natural skin, your natural oils coming through. You've just got that natural glow. It's just coming through. And it's just giving that really, really nice finish. That's perfection, that. So that I love. I do love it. So let's go in with Orgasm Edge. This is the pinky orangey tone that we don't know what's going to be. So again, let me do this. We're going 1, 2, 3. This is how this is looking. Got that on there. I will say, I don't know if it's because it's a matte shade, but there are a few more crumbs on that. A little bit more fallout in the pan. So that most likely would be because it's a matte shade. But it's minuscule amount, so it's nothing major. It's quite a lot on the brush though. So let's go in on the other side. So pigment is definitely there. So again, I'm going to sort of pat in and then blend through. I will say they definitely live up to the pigment. The pigment is there. That's really pretty. I'm going to go in 1, 2 more times on the brush and just circular motion, just like I did on the last one. And then I've just dipped in 1 more time to give that bit of colour. So that one is definitely a lot lighter, a lot more natural. I would say, obviously it's a lighter colour, so it's not going to be as dark as this side is. I'm going to add a little bit more. There we go. So I have just added 1 more. I just went in the pan. There you go. So they do blend like a dream, but I did expect that because they've got mica as their first ingredient. I can see that blending a lot smoother than a talc product would do. Now it's on the skin, I will admit it is more like Orgasm than it does look in the pan. I think when I saw it in the pan I was like, orange. Literal orange. It does look more similar to Orgasm now I've seen it on the skin. I would say with this one there was a tiny little bit more fallout, but nothing major, like barely there. So still a really, really great product. That one again, it is more of a matte shade, but it does let your natural glow come through, so I do like that. And I think because it is a mica based product as well, it's going to allow that to happen more. That's a really nice natural shade. Really good for sort of everyday, just to give a bit of colour. From what Nars have said with the soft focus and blurring, I will say it's definitely got that soft focus effect. I don't know if in particular it blurs as much. I do think this side here with the shimmer in has given that really nice soft focus, almost blurring effect. I don't know how blurring it is, but definitely soft focus. I think in terms of colour payoff, it's got great colour payoff. You don't need to dip in much. You can barely see that I've dipped in. It still looks almost brand new, so I can imagine these lasting ever such a long time. When they say about high impact as well, I would say that they are high impact, but in a way where it's reasonable. You don't feel overwhelmed with how much colour is coming out. It's a high impact which is easy to work with. So it's a very easy to work with product. And they said it's blendable. I would say 100% they're blendable. Really, really nice product. Really blendable, easy to use, and really nice effect. I am still so obsessed with this side. I will say I 100% prefer the Orgasm Rush over the original Orgasm. It's got a much nicer shine where it looks a lot more natural and not as glittery. And the colour is perfect. It's so natural looking. It's not too pinky, but that is personal preference. I do prefer something that isn't as pink. So final thoughts on the blushers. I really, really like them. I love the new packaging. I love the fact that you can depot the products easily and the fact they're refillable, so much better for the environment. I 100% prefer the fact that it is mica over talc. I find it performs a lot better of a product and it blends a lot easier, and you can really see that in the application. Whether you're a makeup beginner or a makeup artist, I would say it's great for absolutely anyone. The colour payoff is there. It's not too intense that it's hard to use. They're really easy to use, and they're super blendable. So I would say they are great for anyone with any sort of level of makeup knowledge. The shade range is great for a lot of skin tones. Obviously I've only got 6 of them here, but there's such a variety to choose from, different undertones, and that is a really great thing for a brand to do. So overall, I definitely recommend the product. I find they performed really well. They give a really nice look to the skin, and I can see myself using these ever such a lot in the future. Obviously they are a little bit more on the pricier side, being at £34 each, but given the fact they're refills and buying a refill is going to be much cheaper now, I think it is much better for a brand to do that, and long term wise, you don't use a lot of this product, so you probably save a lot more money than buying multiple cheap ones than what you would do buying one high-end blusher. So that is my final thoughts. I really enjoyed them. Obviously I enjoyed that Orgasm Rush shade. Like I said, I'm planning on doing a few shorter videos, trying out each blusher, applying it on its own to the cheeks and seeing how the colour looks and lasts. They will be on my shorts, so definitely go and check them out when they're up. And if you have tried the blusher or thinking of trying the blusher, let me know. Let me know what you think if you tried it. Let me know what sort of shades, or if you need any advice, let me know in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If there's any other makeup you'd like to try or any other suggestions you may have, please do let me know. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.